The Golden Knights shut out the Sharks 5-0 and get ready to embark on a 5-game road trip. It's the Chris and Chris edition of Locked On Vegas Golden Knights.
And no, Tony.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Good morning, Golden Knights fans. What's up, everybody? It's Chris Golick, and we have little Chris Golick in the house, rocking the mug already. Cheers, buddy. Hold it back up again one more time. This is exciting. Cheers, buddy. Hold it up. Get that mug. Cheers. There you go. Awesome. There we go.
Bad with cameras.
You're just fine with cameras, buddy. All right, so this is the special Saturday morning edition of Locked On Vegas Golden Knights. We're going to call this the Chris and Chris Show. We will see this every Saturday morning. This is a YouTube exclusive. We're going to dig into last night's victory over the San Jose Sharks. We're going to talk about the upcoming road trip. But Chris, buddy, this is awesome. I can't tell you how excited I am to get to do this with you. This is, you were the one that approached me about this maybe 2 weeks ago. And how do you feel right now? How awesome is this, little man?
Pretty awesome. I was excited to hear the news on Monday.
Awesome.
And I was also wondering before because I knew either way, no matter if it was going to be on Locked On or not, we're going to do a Saturday show. But I was also wondering if I was going to do one show with you and Invisible Tony.
Leave Tony alone. Leave Tony alone. We are not going to be crushing poor Tony all morning long. But no, dude, listen, I'm excited. This is super cool. This is definitely one of those exciting moments to be a dad right now and get to share this with you. So before we talk about the game, Chris, I think it's important we give you a proper intro. I'm going to give you some rapid fire questions. You're going to answer them so everybody can get to know a little something about you. Okay. You ready? Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Jack it off. Okay. All right. How old are you, buddy?
9,
You're 9 years old. Okay. What grade are you in?
3rd,
Do you play hockey?
10U,
10U house league, correct. What position do you play or positions?
mostly defense, sometimes offense.
You score any goals?
Technically, 2. I'm not sure if that goal went to Rachel, or I'm not sure who got.
So
who-
quick shout out to the hockey team, little man. We play on the Young Guns. I coach, and you're talking about a goal that you might have had or Rachel might have had. But either way, it's a goal. It doesn't matter who scored. All that matters is we got a goal, and it was a tightly contested game. Outside of the Golden Knights, do you have a favorite hockey team, buddy?
Rangers,
Rangers. Okay. Any other teams you enjoy to watch?
Wild, and Blackhawks.
There we go. Okay. What'd you say?
Although they beat us.
Although the Blackhawks beat the Golden Knights, that's okay. Connor Bedard. We were at the game. It was exciting. What'd you think about Connor Bedard a couple weeks ago, buddy?
Not surprised he got a goal.
Not surprised. He's got a good shot, doesn't he?
Tell me he's got more than one goal in at least one game. Tell him.
He's getting a lot of goals. He got 4 points the other night against Toronto, 2 goals. Or Tampa, pardon me. All right, buddy, let's get into last night's game. You were at the game. You were up in the seats with Grandpa. I was up in the press box doing my thing. And so, guys, here's how it goes when me and Chris are at the games. When I'm in the press box, Chris is usually in the season ticket seats. He kind of hangs out with my dad, his grandpa. And then during the second period, me and Chris connect, and we usually just kind of walk around the stadium and go on a little tour. So we picked the right time because that second period didn't have a whole lot happening. But Alex Pietrangelo, Chris, how about this? 1 minute into the game, gets what I felt was the slowest developing wraparound in the history of the NHL. Pietrangelo looked like Cale Makar out there, apparently. What did you see on that first Alex Pietrangelo goal?
I've never seen a goalie do something like that. Like, I don't know why he didn't go to the other side. I never got in a wraparound goal, I don't think.
Yeah, so Cahonen, I'm sorry, buddy. Kekkonen was the goalie of the San Jose Sharks, and it was just like you said, like the goalie just kind of got froze there. I don't know if he got stuck in the traffic coming across, but it was very interesting to watch. And then who got the second goal, buddy? I'm actually drawing a blank. Was it who scored the second goal of the game? It was quick for the Golden Knights. It happened really fast. Who are the goal scorers? Howden. Did Martinez get the second goal? Yeah, Martinez, the one-timer. Martinez. So Martinez took the one-timer. Lowe beat the goalie, shot through traffic. And I guess, Chris, I'm going to ask you, why do you think that puck was able to find its way into the nets? Do you think the goalie saw do you think the goalie saw the puck?
Screened.
Exactly. So this is a shout out to, I think, Eddie Olczyk. He's a former announcer for the Chicago Blackhawks. He's actually one of the announcers for the Seattle Kraken right now. He always says, kids, this is why you go to the front of the net. Good things happen. Alex Pietrangelo gets a goal. He wasn't sure if he got it or Will Carrier got it, but or I said Pietrangelo Martinez, pardon me. But the funny thing, Martinez after the game, Will Carrier told him, yeah, it was your goal. And Martinez said, Will Carrier is a good dude. So there you go. So second period, little man, you and me take a little walk. The only memorable thing I saw in the second period of the game was someone was messing with Mark Stone. I don't know if you caught that or if you were looking at the lineup card, but someone just decked Mark Stone in front of the goal. Mark Stone turns around and chirps the referee, and then Mark Stone goes and gives him the business right back. So Mark Stone's not going to take any nonsense this year, Chris. What do you think of Mark Stone so far this year, buddy?
I think this is one of his best years on the Knights. From season 3 or 2 to last season with the Cup. I think he's doing better this year than most of all his other years.
Mark Stone, he's doing a good job. He's in the right place at the right time, a great leader in the locker room and stuff. And I mean, knock on wood, we're 14, 15 games in, no injury concerns yet. And I mean, the Golden Knights have a lot of injuries, but hopefully Mark Stone can avoid that. So that really sums up the second period of the game, little buddy. Third period, this is where things got fun. Who scored the shorthanded goal, Chris? Do you remember? Who was it?
William Karlsson.
Yes, William Karlsson, Tony Cordasco. And Tony, listen, you're not here to defend yourself, but we did see you put your tweet out there saying, the Sharks defenseman fell down and Karlsson was wide open. You might even put #rigged in there. Tony, leave William Karlsson alone. He's having a wonderful season. He's earning every penny and then some of his contracts. So William Karlsson. The funny thing is, Chris, I think I told you about this on the car ride home. My friend Steven sits right next to me, and I looked at Steven and I said, hey, William Karlsson, there hasn't been a whole lot happening, right? And then Marsh looks over right as Karlsson scores and says, there he is. So that was a funny little exchange we had up in the press box. The fourth, I don't know if it was the fourth or the fifth goal, but Brett Howden gets a rebound goal. I think that was the fifth goal. And then Martinez, he gets his second goal of the game. And after the game in the locker room, we were talking, and the team was pulling for him to get the hat trick. They were setting him up a lot, and Martinez was in good spirits talking about the game. I asked him and said, hey, have you had that much time to skate in on a goalie like that? And are you thinking about the shot? Like, what's going through your mind? And he actually broke it down pretty well. He said he did see a spot, and he just kind of hoped to properly execute, and the puck had eyes for the back of the net. But remember how fast it went in and out? Like, we weren't even sure if it was a goal or not. Last takeaway about the game, the Golden Knights, they did what they had to do. This is an important game because they were on a 2-game losing streak. And the Sharks came in, right? I mean, the Sharks had a couple of big wins. They beat the Oilers, right, buddy? They beat the Flyers. And Bruce Cassidy talked about the Sharks coming into the game with a little bit of confidence. So that was one of my questions to Coach Cassidy after the game, was about the team's preparation, knowing the Sharks were coming in confident. And Cassidy talked a little bit about it and basically said the team, had executed right and did what they needed to do to get that confidence to go on the road trip. So, Chris, any last takeaways about the Golden Knights and Sharks game?
I predicted 5-0 Sharks.
You did. So, but hey, Chris, so in the biz, here's what you can do. This is what Tony always says to me. Don't say you predicted 5-0 Sharks. Just say you predicted 5-0. Because technically you're not wrong, right? See, there you go, buddy. All right. So that sums up the Golden Knights versus San Jose Sharks 5-0 shutout Friday night at T-Mobile Arena. Shifting gears, the Golden Knights embark on their first long road trip of the season. It's a 5-game road trip that sees the team traveling to Washington, Montreal, Philly, Pittsburgh, and wraps it up with an extremely difficult game against the Dallas Stars. Me and Chris are quickly going to go through each of the games. We're going to offer a score prediction and how many points we each think the Golden Knights are going to get on this road trip. So, Chris, buddy, the first game is going to be Tuesday against the Washington Capitals. Capitals not having their best season. Ovechkin off to a slow start. What do you think is going to happen in the Capitals game? Give me a score prediction.
You know, I'm going 3-2 Vegas in overtime.
You love calling overtime and shootouts and stuff. I think your predictions, Chris, are but I'm saying you're the one of the four of us. You're the one that says that the most. Hold your schedule down just a tiny bit so people can see your lovely face, buddy. They don't want to look at me. They want to look at you. That's little Chris Golick over there. He is too young to have a Twitter. I'm a TD Chris G on Twitter. Chris Golick at TD Chris G. Although Chris was asking if he can get a Twitter handle one of these days, but I don't know how Mommy will feel about that. That's another discussion for another time. First game from the road trip, in my opinion, it's going to be it's a tough game for any team adjusting to the time zone. The team will be the previous day in D.C. visiting with the president, getting to visit the White House and stuff. So there's going to be just some weird things happening as far as media throwing off their day-to-day schedules and such. So I'm going to go the opposite, Chris. I'm going to say 3-2 Caps. No overtime. 3-2 Caps. No overtime. Next game is against the Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens played the Golden Knights pretty tightly. It was a couple of what was the Canadiens game here? I got the schedule in front of me. Where'd they go? It was a Monday. It was the Halloween game. It was the Halloween game on the 30th. The Golden Knights won that game via shootouts, and the Canadiens have been doing really well in overtime. So the Golden Knights were fortunate to get out of that one and find a way to win. What are your thoughts on that game, Chris?
No, you just said we're doing good at overtime.
Yeah, Knights are doing great in overtime at shootouts, except against the Blackhawks, like you pointed out earlier, buddy.
I'm going 3-1 Vegas. No overtime, no shootout, no nothing.
3-1 Vegas, clean, nothing goofy about that game. Philadelphia Flyers are the next one. Is Saturday night, or is it actually might be a Saturday morning game. Yeah, buddy, that's going to be a 10 a.m. start locally, so that'd be a fun game for us to watch. Flyers, same deal, right? The Flyers started the season really, really well, and then they've been cooling off a little bit. And I mean, the Sharks beat the Flyers, so I don't know what that says about anything. I'm going to start the prediction for the Flyers game. I feel comfortable that Vegas is going to roll in that one. Give me a 4-1 Vegas against the Flyers on the third game of the road trip. What do you got there, buddy?
If the Sharks can beat them and we can beat the Sharks, I think it's be a high scoring game. 5-4 overtime.
Vegas wins 5-4 in overtime. Buddy, right now you got the Golden Knights sweeping the road trip here. You're about to make some friends here because you're the one. I think you pick the opposition more than Tony Cordasco does. So you're flipping the script right now, buddy. You're flipping the script right now. Who knows? We'll see. Back to back. Oh, Tony, there you go, Tony. It's a back-to-back game. The Golden Knights have a back-to-back game. They're going to travel right across the state. They're going to be playing the Pittsburgh Penguins the day after the Flyers game. What are your thoughts on that game, little man?
We had a little bit better team. I think I don't think we're gonna win the whole winning streak. I think this is where it's gonna break up. I'm going 4-2 Penguins.
I'm going to go 3-2 Penguins. I'm with you. I think that's going to be a tough game. Teams like to rally around players when they're facing their former team. Of course, Riley Smith is now a member of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's been having a pretty decent start to the season. In Vegas, we're starting to see a lot of comparisons to Riley Smith's season and Ivan Barbashev's seasons. It was a good trade that benefited both teams, but statistics are, at the end of the day, what players and fans are going to look to, and we'll see how the Barbashev-Smith trade plays out over the course of the season. Right now, from a statistical perspective only, I believe Riley Smith does have the edge, but obviously the Golden Knights are doing just fine with only 2 regulation losses on the entire season. The road trip wraps up against Pete DeBoer and the Dallas Stars. Going to be Wednesday, the 22nd. What do you see happening in that game, buddy?
Well, have we already played them yet?
The Golden Knights and Stars did play, and the Golden Knights beat the Stars. They tied the game late. I don't know if it was like 30 seconds left, but they tied the game late and then ultimately won in the shootout, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, I probably won the shot because I marked a win on there. So
Yeah, you guys can you show your schedule to the camera, buddy? Turn it around. So Chris is taking notes about every game. Get a little closer. It's hard to see, but Chris is taking notes on every game. He's got the scores. He circles everything. So this is pretty cool. This is the type of thing we'll see later in life. All right, buddy. So take the sheet down and give us the score prediction for the end of the road trip against the Dallas Stars.
this is stuff. Okay, I'm predicting my first shootout. 4-3 Stars.
You're going 4-3 Stars shootouts. Okay, so I am going 4-3 Stars shootout. I wrote the same exact thing down before you even said that. Okay, so let's look at your predictions, little man. You are going to go, you think Vegas is going to come out firing. They're going to win the first 3 games. Pardon me. And then they're going to drop a game in regulation to Pittsburgh, and then they're going to lose in a shootout to Dallas. So you got them getting 7 points on this road trip, buddy. That's a really good road trip if that does come to fruition. I am going to go with, I got 2 outright victories and a shootout loss, so I'm giving the Golden Knights 5 of a possible 10 points. And honestly, if the Golden Knights do walk away with this road trip with 5 or 6 points, that's definitely a successful start to the first long road trip of the season. Chris, buddy, as we get ready to wrap this up, any general thoughts on the Golden Knights, maybe how they are this year versus last year? What differences do you see with the team?
I feel like this year we're getting more of our goals on breakaways. Last year we mostly got goal like from the net, so that's one thing I noticed different.
That's what you talked about. We talked about this beforehand. You said breakaways was certainly a key piece right there. And I have noticed that too. The Golden Knights, little man, are a really good team off the rush. They get the puck up the ice extremely quickly and create opportunities. Although I don't think the Golden Knights really had any breakaways last night. But what I will say, my observation from the press box is the Golden Knights had so much more time with the puck. And I mean, the Sharks are what they are, but the Golden Knights definitely did what they needed to do as far as puck movement, cycles. I mean, even the fourth line, Kolesar, Howden, and Ronbjerg was generating scoring chances, sustaining pressure, and it was just good to see. So any last thoughts, Christopher, about the Sharks or the season in general?
Yeah.
You want to say, how about you give a shout out to the Young Guns really quick, buddy, for about 30 seconds. Talk about the Young Guns season right now. The Young Guns, folks, that is the 10U team that I coach. A lot of them do watch our podcast. So, Chris, why don't you say hi to the players and maybe give a little something really fast?
We go like up and back from wins to loses. I know we tied our last game, and then we lost the 2 games before that, and then we won toss before that. And I feel like we have that kind of pattern.
We're in a good spot right now. I'm proud of how the team is coming along. It's a lot of fun getting through the practices. We do have a practice on Monday. We're going to work on the power play. We're going to work on some things. The crew wants to work on backhand passes and passing in general. So get ready for a tough practice. All right, guys, that is going to do it. This is exciting. I'm so happy we got to do this. This was the first ever Locked On Vegas Golden Knights Chris and Chris show. Folks, for everything Golden Knights hockey, please make sure to check out the Locked On podcast, anywhere you get your podcast. But again, the Chris and Chris show is going to be a Saturday morning exclusive on YouTube. Chris hitting that coffee. I mean, not coffee, hitting that apple cider over there. For my little man, there we go, Tony. For my little man, little Chris Golick, I'm Chris Golick. Thanks to the everydayers, and now our everydayers hanging out on Saturday mornings with us. Thank you for checking out Locked On Golden Knights. Take care, everybody.